Wolf of Fantasy Sports back with the DFS Wolfpack for NFL Week 9. First look. These are my first impressions looking at DraftKings player pricing that they released. Let's do a brief recap. Today went well. It was kind of a roller coaster. Like, I started out not winning any money. I was so far left. It wasn't even funny. I was so far left. Once the afternoon game started, nothing until halftime. I was like, wow, I'm really about to lose everything. Fitz went off. Gurley went off. All my lineups pushed all the way to the forefront. Ended up winning several $100s today. If you look at the afternoon only, I did okay. Kind of broke even there. And then looking at my best lineup, my main lineup, I chose wrong. My main lineup today was my Aaron Rodgers, Uzomah. Definitely chose wrong. Dropped the ball on selecting my main lineup. Could have won a few thousand today if I would have went with the golf lineup that I originally liked in the beginning of the week. Sometimes you get off of certain stuff once Sunday hits and you're building lineups. This is my original lineup early in the week. It was Goff and Gurley. So I didn't take any of the receivers. I just went Goff and I just went Gurley. That's it. I put up a 194.8. Gurley went down to run out the clock at the end of the game. Possibly could have had another touchdown. Possibly could have broke 200 in this lineup. So that was my best lineup of the week, 194.80. If you want to join the DFS Wolfpack, the link is in my bio on Twitter and Instagram. You click the link in your web browser. It'll come up. It'll say join DFS Wolfpack, join the league. As you can see, we run contests like this one here. It's a 4-man $20 contest. $72 to first place. I won that. I was in last place the whole time. Couldn't even go. These are players that are in my season-long league for NFL, NBA. Right? Devin was in first the whole time. He's in the league chat talking all crazy. Momo's in there posting screenshots, laughing about the players that I played, right? Laughing that I played Uzomah, who's the tight end going up against the worst defense facing tight end. So it's crazy to be. Dude was just talking all this talk. Couldn't even go in there. I said, you know what? I'm just going to wait till later, see what happens. Don't you know in the fourth quarter, games are winding down. What happens? Devin's keeping the seat warm. I ended up taking over the throne. Got first. Beat him out by 16.12. So you know what? All that talk leads to nothing. I know he's watching the video, so I'm just hyping it up right now. But they're going to get this screenshot all week. Every time they say something, I'm just going to post a screenshot. So they already know what it is. They tried to come after my crown. Next week, we're playing for more money. That's if they're not scared to join the contest. So we're going to see what happens next week. But if you want to join the league, this is what it's all about. DFS Wolfpack. 554 members. If you send out invites, it goes to like over 1,600 invites get sent out when you make a contest. So somebody's already got NBA contest right here. NBA by G-Man. I'm going to have to enter that. That's for tomorrow, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Now you got 3 out of 10 that are in the contest, right? It's got leaderboards. So we got the leaderboards looking at NFL. For some reason, the leaderboards is not registering. So I'm going to have to email them, get a hold of DraftKings, and see what's going on with the leaderboards. Okay? So check out the DFS Wolfpack. You want to join the league, create a contest, join a contest, compete, win, repeat. And now we're going to get to... Alright, we're going to get to NFL Week 9 player pool. Break this down real quick, tell you who I like. And once you see the matchups, I took a brief look. Once you see these matchups, you're going to know where the chalk is. You're going to see it's clear cut this week, the good spots. Pat Mahomes versus Cleveland, on the road, at home, doesn't matter. Pat Mahomes is matchup proof. Look at the game logs. His floor this year, versus arguably the best defense at the time, Jacksonville, 20.8. That's his floor this year. Ceiling, 41.8 versus Pittsburgh. That was week 2. Mahomes is out here slinging the football. Just put up 4 touchdowns on Denver. Last time out, only had 1, had a rushing touchdown. Mahomes is the real deal. He only went up $100. He should be $7,500. Make people think about playing him. I'll have the money this week to play him. I've already been looking at certain lineup builds. I can play Mahomes and fit whoever I want. I'm definitely going to have Mahomes this week. And Cam Newton, 6,600 at home, facing Tampa Bay. Who's their quarterback? Is it going to be Jameis Winston, who's turning the ball over left and right? Or is it going to be Fitzmagic? We don't know. So he turns the ball over too. So 2 turnover-prone quarterbacks. It could give Cam Newton good field position. And he's already a great play. This week, he just lit up Baltimore, arguably one of the better defenses in the league. Had 2 touchdowns, 200 yards, 219 yards, 21 for 29. Looked great. 52 yards on the ground. He's arguably an RB2 / quarterback. Right? Rushed it a touchdown. Cam Newton, he's one of the highest upside quarterbacks in fantasy football and on the slate. So Mahomes, Cam Newton, those will be the 2 quarterbacks I have the highest ownership to on the slate. I'm all for Watson on the road without Fuller versus Denver. Don't want no part of that. Cousins, I don't mind him versus Detroit. Breeze at home, Superdome versus the Rams. This is going to be a great game to watch. I don't think I'm going to pay for Breeze here. Looking at Goff on the road. Could be forced to throw the ball more, as he did versus Green Bay. I like this spot a little bit for Goff. Looking at Wilson. My recommendation, if you play Wilson, play him by himself. Play him naked. Don't play him with none of his pass catchers. Don't play him with any of the tight ends. Play him by himself. 5,900. I like him. Trubisky, I'm off him this week versus Buffalo, although I think they win this game. And I really like Chicago defense. They're going to be the most expensive. We'll get there. I'm off Big Ben on the road. Matt Ryan, I'm off him on the road. And he's outdoors. You know, he really don't got the deep ball. That's not his game. And outdoors, it's just going to fall short every time. So I'm completely off Ryan. I only play Ryan indoors, at home preferably. Looking at Baker versus Kansas City. Don't mind him. Maybe a deep tournament, GPP. You could sneak him in a couple lineups, but I won't be playing him that much. Stafford, I'm off him. I'm off Rivers. I don't want no part of the Tampa Bay. Definitely not. Both of these quarterbacks, they could play bad and they could get subbed out, as you saw with Winston today. Looking at Flacco, I think he's in play here. 5,300. Pair him up with John Brown. You could also look at Crabtree. Don't mind that. But I think Flacco's okay. If you're paying down, I could see Flacco getting ownership. Alex Smith looks to be in a good spot here. I think I'll have him in GPP. I really don't like playing him at all. Play him by himself. But at 5,000, his upside is not there. But it's just a really good price and a good matchup. See what weapons are available for Alex Smith. Maybe he's a deep GPP flyer pick. Really don't like him all that much. I got a lot of money on lineup builds where I could just pay up for Cam Newton or Pat Mahomes. Looking at Sam Darnold, he's real cheap too. 4,800 versus Miami. These are quarterbacks to consider. Don't love it though. For my money, I'm paying up Mahomes, Newton all day. Jared Goff possibly. Let's see if Cooper Kupp's back. Those are my 3 favorite quarterbacks there. Mahomes, Newton, Jared Goff. Looking at running back position. Todd Gurley. His price went down. Okay, 10,000, 9,800, 10,000. Yeah, they got that messed up. Let's see. Todd Gurley was 9,800. So if you look to see kind of crazy that the recap shows that he was 10,000. This doesn't mean anything, but week 8 versus Green Bay, he was 9,800, not 10,000. DraftKings, get it right. Todd Gurley, look at the game log. He is now cheaper than he was in week 8. Week 8, 9,800, not 10,000. Now he's 9,500. They're basically tempting you to play Todd Gurley. Like, can this production keep up? Well, look at Pat Mahomes. Can his production keep up? Is he's going to keep putting up 20 plus? I think Todd Gurley's a great play here versus New Orleans. New Orleans has been tough on the run. That's probably why the price came down a little bit. And if you saw today, Latavius Murray tonight looked pretty good. And Todd Gurley is really good. So if you put Todd Gurley in certain spots, now he did get shut down on the goal line by Green Bay. Could have had a touchdown late in the game. He just went down to burn out the clock and win. He made a statement that he didn't care about fantasy owners and all that, whatever. He's going to enjoy that endorsement money from DraftKings because it'll be coming. Todd Gurley's just the number one running back. Just like Cam Newton and Pat Mahomes are the best quarterback options on the week. Todd Gurley's right up there in his position. I think he's in play, definitely viable. Melvin Gordon, something to look at. Check the status throughout the week. Really don't like the matchup all that much, but he finds a way to get in the end zone, and he's probably one of the very few running backs on this list that can match Todd Gurley or outscore him. So if you look at McCaffrey, 7,800, had a great game today versus Baltimore. Tough defense, tough on the run, 14 attempts, right? That's what you want to see. 6 targets, touchdown rushing, touchdown receiving. Christian McCaffrey's in a great spot this week. Someone I'm going to have a lot of exposure to. Hunt, I like him too, 7,700. Kamara, you would think he'd be heavily utilized in this matchup versus the Rams. It's going to be tough on New Orleans this week. They just faced Minnesota. They're coming off of 6 wins. I think Kamara is firmly in play here. I just don't know how much exposure I'll have to him. Connor's okay, 7,200. I think I'm off Connor this week. Looking at Tariq Cohen, he's if Robinson's out again, look, he only got 3 targets. Made the most of them. Had that long break. Put up 18. I think he's viable, but at 6,200, I don't know if I'm going to play him. Adrian Peterson, 6,000. Looked great today. Put up a monster game. 30.6, 26 rushing attempts. Had 1 target for a touchdown. Touchdown rushing, touchdown receiving. I think he's the oldest player to do that. Have that big of a game or something. He set some milestone today. I think he's okay. You might want to look at his counterpart in that matchup versus Atlanta because the pass catchers, let's not forget, Chris Thompson. And he's down there. We're going to get to him. Kerryon Johnson, I'm off him in this matchup. I'm off of Lindsey. Chris Thompson right here, 5,400. Now, he saw 3 targets today. They were whooping up on the Giants, so I really think he's in play in this matchup because pass catching running backs versus Atlanta is a thing. 32nd in the league. Thompson could put up a monster game here, especially if it's a bit of a shootout. Atlanta gets the lead. I think Thompson's going to definitely do his thing. If this game was in Atlanta, I'd like him even a lot more because I would expect Atlanta to have a lead. Washington's defense has looked pretty good this year so far, and their record's pretty good. So Drake, I'm kind of off him. Halfway decent price. Lamar Miller versus Denver. Don't mind him all that much. Latavius Murray versus Detroit. I like this play a lot. I like what I saw from Lat Murray today versus... Okay, you don't see his points. You don't see his stats. But he did all right versus New Orleans. He got in the end zone. I like him here, 5,100 versus Detroit. I like that a lot. Carson just lit them up. Had 25 carries today. Lit them up. I like Latavius Murray. I'm off Ingram here. I'm definitely off Coleman. Don't want no parts of him. Don't want no part of Jordan Howard in that matchup. He's cheap, though. Something to look at. 22 attempts. 1 target. I think he's viable here. I just won't take the chance on him. Maybe in some GPPs, $3, $1 quarter contest. Chris Carson, he did good for me today. I don't think I'll play him in this matchup. I like Nick Chubb a little bit at 4,500. Now, if Melvin Gordon doesn't play, Eckler the Heckler, 4,300, definitely viable. And Isaiah Crowell versus Miami, I like that a lot. If you look here, he had 13 attempts, 1 target, caught his target. I think he's viable in this matchup. Hopefully nobody notices him. I might throw him in a couple GPP lineups, definitely. Looking at wide receiver position, Adam Thielen, another game, another 100 yards. Versus Detroit, he could do it again. So Megatron's got 8 games, 100 yards in a row. Adam Thielen, he's going for it. We're going to see if he can get it done here and tie Megatron. So I think he's viable. He's more expensive than Antonio Brown. It doesn't look right, but he's definitely viable to get that 100 yards. And I think at very little, he gets that. So Antonio Brown, don't mind him. I like him at home, though. Probably won't play him here. Hopkins, I'm off that versus Denver. Looking at Evans, I think he's viable, but I don't usually pay up for him. Julio Jones, completely off him this week, and he'll probably score 3 touchdowns. It works out like that when you fade somebody and write them off. Michael Thomas, I like him at 7,600. I'm off Keenan Allen in this matchup. Juju's viable. Probably won't play that much of him. Robert Woods, I like this play at 7,000. You got to see if Cooper Kupp is playing. Looking at Stephon Diggs in play at 6,800. I like Cooks. Back in New Orleans, back in the Superdome. I really like Cooks. Really like Cooks here. Looking at Landry versus KC. He's in play. I don't know how much exposure I'll have to him. He saw the targets today. Didn't really do too much with it. 12 targets. That's what we like to see. He's in play at that price. I'm off Sanders. Kupp, questionable. Got to follow him throughout the week. See what's going on. I'm off Tate. I really like John Brown here in this matchup versus Pittsburgh. He did well last time out. I believe he put up 20 plus. He was 3 for 7, 116 and a touchdown. Ran the ball for 3 yards. I like John Brown in this matchup. Definitely at home. Ridley, I'm off him this week. Looking at Devin Funchess, definitely viable versus Tampa Bay. I'll have some exposure to him. Galladay, he's all right. Only saw 1 target today. That's kind of alarming. Marvin Jones, he was the one that had the big game. Saw 10 targets, 2 touchdowns. Marv Jones did it on him. Definitely shitted on him. Seattle, wow. Had a good game. I had no exposure to him. Kiki, gotta look and see if he's playing. Don't like him all that much. Baldwin, I don't know what to do with this man. I'm just gonna leave him alone. I think if I play a wide receiver from Seattle, I'll try not to, but it'll be Lockett, depending on the matchup. But Baldwin, until I see his production go up, until I see him more involved and get more targets, I'm not touching him. Completely off that. 3 targets. I don't want nothing to do with him. I'm off Gabriel here. Don't care for him all that much. I like Sammy Watkins. Price is fair, 4,900. You saw what he did today. He lit it up. He got 9 targets. When he gets to targets, he's going to put up the yards. He can catch the ball. He's a good player. He came from Buffalo. I followed this guy throughout his career. He had the injuries in Buffalo, and we didn't really have a quarterback in Tyrod Taylor that could get him the ball. 4,900 with Mahomes. Definitely like him a lot. Looking at Crabtree, Amendola. I think Crabtree's viable. Amendola and Parker. Those 2 players are risky there. Not sure what I'm going to do with them too. Think about it during the week. Look at the matchups. Dig into it a little bit more. I won't recommend them though. Looking at Demaryius Thomas, I'm off him completely. Josh Reynolds had a really big game. 2 touchdowns. 4,500 price came up. I probably won't play him here. It all depends if Cooper Kupp's playing. I'm off Godwin. I like DJ Moore. His targets came up. He's at 6,554, coming off 2 and 2. And if he gets in the, he didn't even get in the end zone, put up 17.9. I like DJ Moore here in this matchup for his Tampa. Absolutely. That'll be a player I got some exposure to. I'll mix and match Funchess with Cam Newton, and then I'll have a couple lineups that just have the pairing of Cam Newton and one of the wide receivers, and then I'll pair him up with two. Then I'll pair him up with one of the wide receivers and McCaffrey, and I'll try to get weird with it in GPPs. Callaway, he's okay. Caught a touchdown today, but I don't really like him. I'm completely off Curse. You'll never see me play Curse. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Snead, I'm kind of off him. Looking at Tyrell the Gazelle, I like him. Tyrell Williams. Traquan Smith's viable, but I'd much rather play Tyrell. Down here, you could look at David Moore. He's getting some targets, but it's really tough taking a receiver from Seattle. Probably won't do it. Anthony Miller caught the touchdown for me. I'm off him now. I won't go back. Humphreys had a good game. We don't know who the quarterback is, though. It's got to be Winston. I'm not touching any of the receivers for Buffalo. No thanks. And that's pretty much it. That's it for wide receiver. Tight end's real easy. Kelsey. Jordan Reed's viable, but I like Kelsey and I like Olsen. Olsen's got the better of the matchup there. But Kelsey, Olsen, those are locks for me. OJ Howard's okay. I like him. I like what I'm seeing from him. He looks talented. You can look at Jordan Thomas. He caught, 2 touchdowns last time? 4 2 touchdowns. You can look at him again. He's GPP viable for me. And if you're wondering what I'm looking at a Note 9 screen. Just so you got an idea of what you're looking at here for the viewers. Defense. Bears. The Bears versus the Bills. In Buffalo. Maybe it's rain, maybe it's snow. I don't know yet. I live in Buffalo. I'm right down the street from the stadium. It's going to be probably cold and wet. I like the Bears defense. Let's hope Mac's back. Let's hope he's healthy. Pay up for the defense. Pay up for the quarterback. Pay up in certain spots. Maybe people won't. That's what I'm hoping for this week. Because it looks like it's real chalky week. Real obvious plays. Get weird with some of your receivers. Get weird with your RB2. Play three running backs. The one in your flex. Try to get a low on one with high upside. If you set yourself apart with 2 plays and the rest is chalk and the chalk hits, you could win everything. You take a Fitz that's 5% like I did today. That carried me so into the cash line, like carried me deep into the cash line. Thank you, Larry Fitzgerald. Thank you for that 5%. Thank you for nobody listening to the beat writers and listening to the coach and the offensive coordinator that said they're going to get him more involved. Thank you. Because you know what? It didn't look like it was going to work out, and it did work out. So find that guy that's 5% that puts up that 25 plus to set you apart and win you a tournament. In NFL, you can play the chalk. Doesn't matter. Find 1 or 2 guys that set you apart. The Bears, like them. I like the Panthers because the quarterback situation on Tampa, they could be interception prone, whatever. The Bears defense is just a virtual lock. I'll just pay up for him because it doesn't matter if it's Derek Anderson or Nathan Peterman. They're going to throw interceptions. They're going to turn over the ball. Now, Derek Anderson's getting the start this week versus New England. That's happening later in the day. It's already 12 a.m. That's going to happen later today. So you're going to want to see what he does. Maybe they go back to Peterman, which would be crazy if Anderson shits the bed on Monday Night Football, right? So the Bears, they're number 1. And it's crazy because Derek Anderson is like an older version of Nathan Peterman in a sense. They're both bad, but who's worse? I don't know. I'd really like to see the young guy go back in there. Maybe he could have a shot. Maybe he could turn around his career and be a good backup somewhere, 3rd string or some shit. But anyways, the Bears are number 1. Panthers are number 2. DraftKings priced them accordingly. Looking at any other defense, you could look at the Chiefs. You could look at the Bills are hit or miss. They really are. The Bills are hit or miss. If you see, they've thrown up a couple gems defensively. Trubisky's been on fire. I don't know if I want to mess with that, but I'm trying to find a cheap defense for you. I just think I'm paying up. Why mess around with these cheap defenses? Just pay up for the Bears, pay up for the Panthers. That's it. DFS Wolfpack, NFL Week 9. A lot of chalk on this slate. I'm hoping throughout the week I could find something that sets me apart. Maybe no one plays Latavius Murray. I play him, he goes off, gets me 25. I play a receiver that comes in 5% owned, does what Fitz did, puts up a 29. I win all the money, the chalk hits. Life is good. Hit me up at DFS Wolfpack. If you want to sign up, I'm now offering player pool, write-ups, and coaching. So if you're new to DFS, that's what I like. I can get you up to speed. I can show you the websites where all the stats. I can show you where to look for information. That way, when you're not subscribed to somebody, you can do all this yourself. You know, you got to put the time in to get the results. But if you can't, then you subscribe to me or somebody else, and we help get you there. We put you on the plays. We do the research all week. We're basically giving you our research. So hit me up direct, DFS Wolfpack, Instagram, Twitter. I would hate me too on DraftKings and FanDuel. If you see me up on the leaderboard, you already know who it is. You'll see my logo. DFS Wolfpack, Wolf of Fantasy Sports. Good luck. One.
What you need, NFL, NBA, MLB, MMA, PGA. We got lineups you can play. What you need, NFL, NBA, MLB, MMA, PGA. We got lineups you can play. Woof, 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 woof.